guys. Okay, today is April 10th. It's Friday. It's Good Friday. So I hope that you guys take some time to maybe read through the Easter story and take some time with the Lord today. You should be doing that every day, but today in particular, I've been thinking a lot about Good Friday and what it must have been like. These 3 days must have been the most horrible 3 days for the followers of Christ, thinking about his crucifixion and then going those days without seeing him and not really understanding what's going on. And it's kind of it's a time that we need to take and reflect, and I want you to do that today. It's important for us to take some time to think about those kind of things. I've got short lesson today. As you already know, today is our quiz. So we'll be doing quiz number 39. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that quiz here on this video so you can pause it and write down each one and then work through each one, filling in your answers. When you're done with that, make sure that you put your name on it, but go ahead and text it and send me your answers for that quiz. I do want to see your work, so make sure that when you're sending in your answers that you're also including the work, the math part of it. So make sure that you get that to me. And then at the end of the quiz, I also put an extra credit section. I know some of you were concerned because you received those lower quiz grades over those 2 weeks. So I put some extra credit on there to help us kind of bring our grade back up where it needs to be. So take some time and work through those extra credit to try and help your grade. So that is what you'll be doing today, is the test, or the quiz, excuse me. Let's take a look at that. Let me go down here and pull it up. So this is our quiz number 39. You'll see number one rectangle has a base of 12 inches and an altitude of 6 inches. The other has a base of 10 inches and an altitude of 5 inches. What is the ratio of the first rectangle to the second? So you'll be plugging in those things and basically just finding that ratio, okay? What to what. So you plug in the numbers for your base and your altitude and get your ratio. Number 2, what is the area of the first rectangle in number 1? So you're going to use the numbers from question number 1, and you're going to plug in your base and your altitude from rectangle number 1, or the first rectangle there in question number 1, and then solve for that. Number 3. Find the area of a triangle that has a base of 6 inches and an altitude of 8 inches. I put, again, the formula there. You're just plugging it in. Number 4, the trapezoid or a trapezoid has one base of 10 inches, an altitude of 6 inches, and an area of 51 square inches. Find the length of the other bases. So you're going to plug in the information you have and solve for your unknown, okay? And then number 5, parallelogram has an altitude of 8 inches and an area of 48 inches. Find the length of its bases. So you're going to work through that, plugging in the information that you have. Number 6, a right triangle has a hypotenuse of 13 inches and a leg of 5 inches. Find the area of the right triangle. Now, in order to do this, you need to plug in to find the leg, the measurement of the missing leg. So you only have the measurement of one leg there in number 6. You have to plug in your c squared and your a squared in order to find your b squared, because you're going to need that b in the area formula, which is 1/2 times A, which is the measurement they give you, and then B, which is what you're going to find using that Pythagorean theorem there. Okay, so there's basically 2 steps to that question there. Make sure that you do both. Okay, so you plug in the information that you have, and then you solve for your missing. Okay, a parallelogram has a base and an altitude that have a ratio of 4 to 3. The area of, if the area is 108 square inches, what is the measure of the base? So I put that, those measurements there, 4x and 3x, that's what you're going to be plugging in for your B and your H. Now remember, the area, 108 square inches, you're going to be plugging into your PL, okay? So you're solving there, plugging in the PL there into that formula and then solving, okay? So that is number 7 there. I just put that BH there so you could see how that works there and what's what, okay? So you'll be plugging in your 108 for your PL and then plugging in your base and your altitude and then solving accordingly, okay? So on this particular step here, there's kind of a few different steps you're going to be taking, but remember, basically what you're doing is solving for x, okay? So as you're working through this, you're going to get to the end if you do this properly, and you'll have x squared equals a number, all right? If you have x squared equals a number, then you have to square root both in order to get the proper answer, okay? So make sure that you square root there to find out what x is, and then you plug that in to find what your base is in 4x, okay? So we find out what x is, plug that back in to find, plug that back in at your 4x there to find what your base number is. That's what they're asking for, okay? So be careful about that one. There's a couple of steps there. There was one I wanted to go back to. Well, I can't find it now, but yeah, so make sure that you are careful on that. All right, now down here, you'll see our extra credit, okay? What determines a straight line? We should know that. You need something specifically in order to have a straight line, and that's the answer I'm looking for. Number 2 is true or false. Just tell me if that's a true statement or false statement. Number 3, I want you to draw this example here with this 2 parallel lines with the transversal going through it. Draw that, and then I want you to circle where your corresponding angles would be. So I would circle this angle, and then I would circle the corresponding angle to that. And then for number 4, the same thing. You're going to draw another one of these, only we're looking for alternate interior angles, okay? So circle your alternate interior angles. And then the last extra credit, how many degrees is in a supplementary angle? And that should be fairly easy. So there's some extra credit for you that you can do. Again, you'll have to pause this video and write down these answers or questions so that you can put the answers in. And remember, I want to see math. I want to see your work for these here. So make sure that you're including that on your answer sheet so I can see how you work through it. Again, remember, even if you get it wrong, I could possibly be able to give you partial credit. So make sure that you have everything included in there so that I can take a look at it and say, okay, she got halfway through this and then kind of messed up there. I'm going to give her half credit for that, okay? So just make sure that you include those that work in there with it. All right, so that is your test. Again, here's the first 7 questions, okay? And then the formulas that go with that, and then also your extra credit there, okay? So pause the video, write those down so that you have them. You don't have to keep stopping going to get those. Now, As I said before, typically I would just give you your quiz and be done. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually skip lesson 5.6. I was going to give you a few of those, but I think I'm going to save them for some extra credit work towards the end. So we're not going to do any problems. I'm just going to have you complete that quiz for today, and that will be your assignment. So make sure that you get that to me by the end of the day. Again, this is for Friday, April 10th. And so your work needs to be turned into me by then. Okay, so that's that for today, and make sure you get that submitted in, and we'll work on pulling your grades up a little bit and move forward from there. All right, guys, I hope you have a good Easter. As I said, if there's any problems, reach out to me, and make sure that you get your homework turned in on time so that you can receive a proper grade for it, okay? That's all I have for you today, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend. Love you guys. Bye-bye.